Alright, we're back. We're back for more TLS2. And we're going on to another game from the round of 32. This time, it's going to be a PvT between none other than EndingLife and IFU's Cryoc. Now, this is going to be pretty exciting. EndingLife, I actually don't know too much about him. Like, I recall his name from the forums. I see him post stuff. Don't really know how good he is as a player, though. On the other hand, Cryoc. Let me tell you something about Cryoc. Alright. So once upon a time, I was playing a ladder game against some random German Terran. And his name was Cryoc. And I won. And so I was like, oh, this guy's not very good. And then he proceeded to actually get good. And he's now like 6-0 Gambits Cup. After I, you know, started BMing him whenever I had a chance to cast him. Seriously, because you know, he'd be playing in like a Nation Wars or Gambits Cup or anything. I'd be like, oh, this guy's terrible. He's like B- max. You know, he shouldn't be on the notable players list. Who is this joker? And then, you know, he's like beats DeWalt and Bakryu and shit. And I'm like, damn, that's pretty crazy. It happened to somebody else as well. Who was the other guy it happened to where I was like, this guy's terrible, and then he, you know, starts beating all the best foreigners? Damn, who was this? Who else is... Oh man, so I was talking about it with somebody. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. Tupac, do you know what I'm talking about? Well, whatever. I'll probably think about it later. Anyway, we're on the OJ again. Round of 32. So let's go. Oh yes, thank you, Prof. Protoss. Prof. Protoss is absolutely right. It was Eonzerg. That's the other guy who I just non-stop was saying was terrible for like months, and now he's one of the best foreigners in the scene. It's like the reverse Artosis curse, basically. You know, like whenever Artosis is somebody's good. Hold on, let me do positions first. I mean, EndingLife is yellow. He's Protoss. Cryoc is brown. He's Terran. All right, good, done. Yeah, so basically, you know, Artosis, he says the player's awesome, and he's like, oh, this player's totally going to win GSL, and then, you know, they drop out first round. But for me, it seems that whenever I, you know, actively try to convince people that somebody's bad, they actually end up getting really, really good. So that's awesome. You know, I hatched a plan with Draw, aka Kid Canada, where I was like, you know, we need a Protoss to take down Seiki, right? So maybe I can use my reverse Artosis curse power and just start, you know, BMing Kid Canada like crazy every stream, and then he'll just get really, really good. So I'm not sure if I'm not sure if I should actually do that. I mean, I guess I already did it today, so the plan has already commenced here. So yeah, there you go. If I'm ever mean to KC, that's what's going on. Anyway. Alright, totally wasn't paying attention to what these guys are saying. What are they saying? I'll wing it and scout, however. Alright, whatevs. So we got Gateway Scout. It's in the wrong direction. Too bad. Yeah, so Cryoc, I mean, you know, okay, so even though I was saying he wasn't very good, I did know that he was, like, sort of a TVZ specialist for a while. So then when he went into Gambits Cup and, you know, like, beat DeWalt in a long game, I was like, oh, you know, this must be a fluke, right? But then he went, you know, 6-0, 7-0 or something. Like, if you look at on Wikipedia, he's I think 3rd or 4th in the player rankings overall. So it's like Seiki, Technics, and then Cryoc. I was like, wow. So he's actually a pretty scary player now. Although I don't think he's had any significant individual tournament results yet. But keep an eye out on him. He could be like the next Eonzerg, you know. I mean, Eonzerg basically did the same thing. He was like B- max for a while, and then all of a sudden, you know, in a few months, he just shot up and became a top 5 foreigner. Alright, so EndingLife, unfortunately, realized that he's going to scout his opponent last. Although on the other hand, Cryoc also going to scout his opponent last. And what do we got? FD? FD action from the Cryoc. And one gate. Got range. What's next? Second gate? If it's a second gate, it should be now. No second gate. Second goon. Okay, so it's not going to be 2 gate goon. Could just be 1 gate expand. Could be 1 gate obs expand. It's not going to be 2 gate though. So what else is going on? Okay, looks like guy's back on gas here. It's interesting. Interesting timing. Usually with FD, they don't go back on gas until you've made the command center. So he might be doing something a little bit unorthodox. Oh, there's actually a second gateway. Oh, that's weird. Okay, so it looks like he just built it a little bit later after his second goon. Okay, I guess that's okay. Actually, this timing looks like it's pretty close where the first goon will finish. But you see, oh, he's supply blocked. Oh, wait, no, now he's not. Okay, so the first goon actually comes out. Oh, sorry, that's the second goon. And then the second gateway finishes. Oh, okay. Okay, that's legit. That's legit. Maybe I'm just bad. That's probably what it is. This is probably right. Okay. Okay, let's look at the Terran base, because at least I said what the Terran was doing correctly. So we'll just ignore that, so don't worry about that. Just look over here and pretend that I'm right. Okay, this is problematic for Terran. Yeah, don't really want to engage that without the tank. Alright, there we go. There's the tank. Always focusing down the one goon. Nice, nice. Goon's being pulled back though. Now he's going after the other one. Alright, good Michael from both players. I think EndingLife's being a little bit too brave with these goons though. Really want to avoid getting them down so low on the HP. If you take shield damage, it doesn't really matter because you just regenerate it while you run away. Going that low on the HP is a little bit messed up. What is that Marine doing? Alright. Had a little bit of past fun times with the SCV, but... Oh man, why is he attacking up a ramp? What are you doing, man? Okay, so normally I'm a fan of this kind of, you know, goon poking and aggression, but the problem is that, you know, he's shooting uphill, which is just not going to work. You know, because goons outrange all the Marines, right? So that's nice. He also picked off the Vulture, which is actually really nice, but I mean, I think, why doesn't he just, like, walk around the side here and come up the side or something, you know? Why do you keep attacking up the ramp? That's not good. He's also going for the expansion here, 2 gate expand. I like it. I like this as well. Very easy for Return to poke in with some... Oh god, that's bad! Ah, that's bad. He killed most of the Marines, though. He's actually doing a surprisingly good job, despite having to fight up this ramp. I thought this would have gone a lot worse for him. But if he keeps trying to do this with these mines here, he's going to lose all his goons. So he should know that with the mines there, he can't, you know, go in too far. And he is, in fact, just gonna hold position a little bit further back there. So Cryoc, he's got his CC on the way. It's actually a little bit faster than the Protoss Nexus. I mean, that's what happens when you go 2 gate goon. You got to put a lot of pressure on your opponent, and you delay your expansion because of it. Yeah, so that's part of the reason why EndingLife is being so aggressive here, because he really does want to put the pressure on to make this worth it. Meanwhile, Vulture does look like it's stuck out here. We do have a random, not really random, but we do have a 2 pylon wall block here, which means that it's going to be a very quick third base here. 2 gate double expand. This is sort of a legit build, but it's quite risky if he does actually get this third Nexus. Basically, he'll be very vulnerable to any kind of you know, early mid-game aggression from the Terran. Any, you know, even a quick 2-fact attack right here, just right now, could really put the hurt on the Protoss, or even just a, you know, a 4-fact follow-up off the 2 bases. But it looks like the Vulture actually killed the probe here before it was able to put down the Nexus. So so it's not too bad. EndingLife does have 400 minerals now. I really think that's what his plan was. But yeah, I don't know if he's going to still do that. He did get the Robo at least, and he's getting a Citadel now. But he is also still going to get this third base. And this is extremely risky as well, because not only is he getting this third Nexus, but he's getting the Citadel as well, instead of immediately getting additional gateways. I think a slightly safer way to do this is to straight away, you know, get another 2 gateways or something like that before the Citadel. because, I mean, he's basically, you know, double expanded and teching at the same time, so his unit count is going to be really, really low. He's still just pumping off of 2 gateways, so if Cryoc does any kind of aggression, you know, in the next 3 minutes or so, it's going to be tricky, pretty tricky for EndingLife to stop. Although, I mean, at least he will be able to kind of use his high ground ridge a little bit against his opponent. And since he did open with 2-gate goon, he has, you know, a few goons out on the map, but still gotta be really careful. And oh man, don't walk on the mines, don't walk on the mines. Alright, there we go. So he's actually moving forward here because there's no tanks in position. I don't know what Cryoc's tanks are doing all the way back there and not like behind the minefield. It's a little bit strange. Meanwhile, I would have expected a 3rd command center as well, given that he does have an army already with just 2 factories. He's not going for like a 4-fact. Is he going? Wait, is he going for a 5-fact after the armory? What build is this? Pretty sure these are for factories. Are they not? Huh. All right. Well, we do have the 3rd nexus now for EndingLife. Is this? This is a 5-fact with +1. So this is actually going to be pretty nasty here for EndingLife to stop. All right, what has he got? He's only just now getting his 5th gateway. He's getting an archive, so he can get some DTs out. That'll be quite useful here. Actually, there's no academy. There's actually no mobile detection here. If he just gets a couple of DTs, he could actually just stop this cold with like 2 units. Oh man, I don't know why Qualifier isn't getting an academy. I guess, man, this is like a really specific build here. No academy, getting the fast armory, and then the 5-facts. Interesting. Interesting. According to Kid Canada, it's a 5-fact +1 with Goliath that he actually did against DeWalt. Alright, there you go. Did he against DeWalt. Wait, was this the build that he beat DeWalt in Gambit's Cup with? Because I actually didn't see that game. Ah, could be a legit build. Oh, he's getting Goliath range. Looks like Casey knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's talking about. This is good. See, this is why I always have the chat open when I cast. Then I can have people like Kid Canada and Bakryu say like really intelligent things. I can just, you know, repeat what they say. Anyway. Bum bum bum, 6 gateways. There is the big zealot pump here. Essentially what you usually do, production-wise in PvP, is you make like only Dragoons in the early game, and then once your leg speed is like almost done, then you start pumping only Zealots. Because getting slow Zealots early on is terrible, they don't really do anything. And so yeah, you basically just, and Dragoons are far superior in the early game, so you just keep pumping Goons, and then leg speed, and then all Zealots is usually how the production works. This actually took me a long time to figure out when I was starting to play PvT, because you know, when I started laddering as a little D- newbie, I was like, well, Zealots are so good against siege tanks, so why don't I just, you know, only make speed Zealots and not make any Dragoons? And that did not turn out well, let me tell you, because Terran have these nasty units called Vultures, which have mines, and Zealots, Clump Zealots are not really happy about that. Anyway, Cryoc is poking out here. Unfortunately for EndingLife, he's walking through a bit of tank fire here on his way back to the high ground. Does have a shuttle with some speed loss. Is he actually just going to break this? Oh man, he's actually going to just run down the ramp and go for it here. The Goliaths need to target this shuttle. There they go. There's the target fire, but it's a little bit too late. They already unleashed the payload. A lot of tanks in the back, though. I'm not sure if this is going to work, but they're all on siege, so perhaps EndingLife has found the perfect time to break through here. Although with all the Zealots gone, I don't think he can continue. Oh man, a couple more Zealots moving in, but this seems suicidal from EndingLife. He's just going to try and kill as many siege tanks as possible, but oh god, it was looking so good at the beginning, but this is why when you engage in PvT, you have to just go in with the Zealots and Goons, and when all the Zealots die, you have to pull the Goons back. The Goons by themselves will do almost nothing. You need the Zealot shield. Ah, yeah. That was not good. That was not good. He's got his first Arbiter on the way, it looks like. But he's got only Zealots left, and as I was just saying, pure speed lot is actually not as good as you might think. Well, looks like Crocs is very smartly decided to push along the top side here. Rather than go through the middle of the map, he's going to stuck along the top side, and it's going to push downwards along this narrow path. So there's basically no way for Protoss to flank him. And this is actually really smart. I really like this, because this is the kind of thing that I don't understand why more Terrans don't do on this map. Because, I mean, if you look, between these two bases, right, there's a much narrower path along the north, rather than going through the high ground pot in the middle, which makes it much easier. And also, if you scoop around the top side, you don't have to worry about, like, pushing up the wide ramp. You just push down here, and you use the terrain naturally to block flank attacks. I guess the only problem is this, where EndingLife can actually has a good window to go counterattack. But you know, Terran is so good defensively that if Cryoc had just laid a few more mines here, he should still be fine. As it stands, this is actually looking really scary. That's a lot of zealots, and he didn't have any mines in position, even though all these ultras actually have all their mines. That's actually really bad. Really should have had some mines in position. So this counterattack is going to do a good job. But this army is still rolling down here into the Terran, to the Protoss natural. And Terran, of course, much better defensively. So if Cryoc just re-rallies everything into his main, he should in theory be able to hold, although it's not looking like he's got it. He's still got his tanks rallied out to his natural, so he's still taking damage, but he's still got a very scary army outside of the Protoss base here. And EndingLife doesn't really have too much to deal with it. He's got a couple of his gateways sieged down from the outside as well. It's another danger on this map. It looks like most of the counter force has actually gone down here, even though there's actually a bit of an opportunity to do some more damage to the natural. It looks like it's not going to happen. And now, EndingLife has to walk through this really narrow choke at his natural to engage these units. And oh man, look at this. The Zealot's getting stuck behind the Dragoons, although it looks like, oh, a bit of a flank from the counter force is going to let him get a couple of these siege tanks. There's no vulture supporting. It looks like he is going to be able to clean up the last of the units. It's basically a complete trade here between the players, and the last couple of tanks of Cryoc will get cleaned up. Cryoc, meanwhile, though, has gotten a third command center at his third base at the 9 o'clock, but EndingLife's got a fourth at the bottom right natural. So it's looking like, despite all that crazy action, we're actually just going to go into the late game here, sort of. This is actually really interesting. Actually, how long has this been up? Okay, it hasn't been up very long. Some of these patches aren't even mined yet. But EndingLife actually double expanded, taking the bottom right main as well. Perhaps a little bit risky, but wow, he does have a lot of gateways as well in his main base. He is producing quite a bit, so I guess that's sort of reasonable. And oh man, what is Cryoc doing with these units? Why does Cryoc have like 6 units running on the map? That's not what you want to do as a Terran player. You can't just engage with small numbers of units. Your units are going to get owned by the Protoss. Protoss is so much more cost efficient in low unit count engagements compared to the Terran. Terran really needs to get that big mech ball rolling to have any chance here. But Cryoc is just really lacking anything. He's got he's up to 6 factories. He's buying off his 3 bases, but the Protoss economy is getting a little bit out of control. I don't think there's any way for Cryoc to do it to deny this base at all. So yeah, he might just have to turtle up on a 3 base bit and mass up a big army and just go for a huge killing blow here. I'm not sure what else he can do. You know, the 4th base for him is going to be quite tricky to take here. I mean, he'd basically have to take this bottom left natural, but it's a little bit far away, a little bit hard to defend. You can see he's laying some lines in position to start thinking about taking that. But it's so easy for Protoss to just move over here and deny it, as you can see. I mean, there's going to be no tanks in range. EndingLife, though, is wasting some of his zealots here, running through these mines all clumped up. If he's just going to charge like this, he should really be leading with just 1 or 2 zealots to clear the mines. Oh man, so these mines are just doing a ton of damage to all his units unnecessarily. More units also randomly moving in. It's like he just had them all grouped up and was just moving around. But yeah, establishing the 5th base, adding all these gateways, these are actually really, really important. When, you know, if the Terran does get his big death ball rolling, oops. A lot of times, the Protoss army just can't stand up to it, so you need this big secondary source of gateways in order to be able to fight the Terran in the late game. Just so you have, you know, a lot more reproduction capability when your army dies, and also you can, you know, build army from a secondary place so you can do flank attacks and whatnot and counterattacks. So that's quite important going into the late game. I really like his gateway positioning, by the way. This is in fact exactly how I position gateways, so that's quite nice. Good on you, EndingLife. Good on you. So, I mean, Cryoc is at 150 supply, EndingLife at 187. It's a pretty big supply disparity, but, you know, Terran is generally a little bit behind in supply anyway. Essentially, you know, Cryoc is certainly behind, you know, both on bases and on army. But if he does get maxed out, if he does get good upgrades, even on just the 3 bases, if he rolls out and wins a decisive engagement in the middle of the map and, you know, starts and kind of, I don't know, either comes over here and kills the main, or more likely goes towards the bottom right and kills the fresh expansions, he certainly still has a chance here. You know, these big engagements in PvT can really swing heavily one way or the other, but it looks like we have a recall in the natural expansion of Cryoc. He didn't really have any defense whatsoever here, surprisingly. No turrets at the back of the natural. However, the main army was already here, though, so this recall is going to get cleaned up very, very easily and quickly here. I'm not sure why Ending Life didn't wait until he was in the main base to recall and just recall the natural there, because the army was obviously just sitting at the top of this wide ramp here, so that seems like a really questionable decision. However, he's decided that he has enough that he can just expand yet again here, and this is the problem with letting, you know, the Protoss get out of control like this. I mean, Cryoc really should be moving out on the map with a couple of vultures or something, just trying to slow the Protoss progress, because, you know, now that Ending Life is basically maxed and has already added, you know, 1 million gateways, this is the only thing he can spend money on is more bases, essentially. Like, this isn't being greedy. This is just, he's got nothing else that he really needs to buy anyway. Another recall going to third base. Gonna eat a couple of mines if he does it, though. Where's the recall? Oh, there we go. Oh, and there go the mines. For some reason, storming those tanks. I think it might have been better off storming the SCVs there, but oh well. So again, a not so useful recall, but you know, he's got so much economy. Look at his supply. Every time he recalls, the units die almost instantly, but his supply stays basically maxed. He's just never dropping below 190 supply. Whereas Cryoc, even though he's getting cost-efficient engagements with the recalls, he's still behind in supply. You know, it's still forcing him back. It's not letting him, you know, prepare that big doom push that he really wants to do. And he has to do it soon as well. If Ending Life just keeps recalling him and Cryoc can never move out, he's just going to bleed out and have, you know, just mine out all his bases, and that'll be it. Cryoc really needs to move out while he still at least has a few resources backing him up, so he can maybe think about taking a fourth as well. You know, just because the death push, while it's very, very strong, with the Protoss well established with 2 sources of gateways, it's very unlikely that he can actually just kill him in one shot. He can do severe damage, but the Protoss will still be able to kind of run around and cling on, so it really needs to have a backup plan. And it looks like it's a supply here, 169. Cryoc should be getting close to thinking about moving out here. There's no point waiting too much longer. Surprisingly, he actually didn't. Okay, no. The two attack just finished as I, you know, clicked off of the unit. So his 2-1 is now finished. That's the usual timing here. Look, 180 supply. You know, 170 to 180 to attack, 1 armor. That's a very common timing to move out here. Is he gonna go for it, or is he gonna wait a little bit longer? You know, just actually fully max out. I'm not really sure. You know, the clock is ticking here. Ending Life is taking every other base on the map. Look at this, bottom left main, 12 o'clock base. If Ending Life takes this base, he will literally have every base that Cryoc doesn't have. I mean, this just can't go on here. Cryoc needs to make his move. And here we go. Is he moving out? He's leading with the science vessels, maybe just to clear the obs and get a couple of BMPs off before anything happens. It looks like Ending Life might just go for the attack himself here. I don't think he should do that. I think he should stay back. Really think he should stay back. Yes, he is going to do it. Perhaps even add on some more gateways or something here. You can see he's banking a lot of money, but obviously because he's maxed, not too much he can do about that. And what are his upgrades like? Looks like he's on 2-1 as well. And here we go. Is he going in here? It's not the best angle for the Protoss. He's going to bleed a few units here for free, but again, because he has so many gateways, it really doesn't matter at all. One thing Cryoc needs to think about also is a bit more recall defense. Okay, so he's got a bit there. He's also making another command center, so he's going to plan to float that down to the bottom left natural. Meanwhile, though, this push really needs to happen. I mean, Cryoc's not doing anything else on the map. He's not doing vulture harass. You know, he's not doing vulture harass, which is the only thing you really can do when you're playing this style of turtle on 3 base and then do a doom push. The only way to keep the Protoss in check and stop him from doing this crazy expansion is to do good vulture harass. Unfortunately for Cryoc, he's just been way too busy in defense mode to actually do that. And he's still not moving out. Is he actually just going to move down to the bottom left and not really attack the Protoss? Is he actually just going to try and play split map? That's an interesting choice. That's actually, now that I think about it, maybe that's the smarter choice, because there's so much Protoss production right now that if he did go for a big push, let's say, you know, he kills the entire Protoss army and loses 50 supply, it doesn't even matter because the Protoss can just remax in like 2 rounds, right? So he knows that this big army, as strong as it is, will get worn down. But oh, see, this is the problem with that, is that he can just get recalls all day if he does this. Oh no, there's another recall. Right as the SCVs were out. Oh no, the mines blowing up all the SCVs. So brutal. It looks like he's actually pushing these bottom left 2 bases. I really don't think Ending Life cares even a little bit. And a double recall here, a recall at the 3rd as well, recall at the natural. Cryoc is getting torn apart with his army away from home. There's nothing he can do about it, really. His entire army is over here at the 6 o'clock base, but this is not really important to Ending Life at all. Whereas for Cryoc, those bases are obviously his last mining. So this is sort of why I thought it'd be better to just go for the attack. Because going for these bottom left bases doesn't really do anything, and then you're so open to recalls. I mean, obviously if you go for the big attack, you're vulnerable to recalls as well. But then at least you can turn it into like a base trade that you might win. But in this case, it's not even a base trade. He's just like killing expansions that the Protoss doesn't need. I mean, EndingLife's banking like 5,000 minerals right now. He doesn't care about these expansions. He's got half the map already. And now Cryoc's got no expansions, so... Man, is Cryoc just going to relocate everything to the bottom left here? He's actually just sieging up the bottom left. I mean, you know, he's got just enough units to actually hold the main. Yeah, it looks like Cryoc's going to go ultimate defense mode. Huh. Well, I guess we'll see how this works. He's still bleeding units, though. That cannot be allowed. The Death Ball really needs to stay together. Oh, man. It's just plummeting in supply. 110 supply now. Look at this Protoss is non-stop max. Cryoc, though, looks like he does have just a good enough position here to actually ward off the rest of those Protoss units. He's got a decent number of tanks in the back. He's got 3-1 upgrades now as well. But still looking pretty grim. I kind of like how EndingLife is also staying on pure gateway units. A lot of Protoss players at this point will be like, oh, you know, I'm so far ahead, I can go mass carriers, you know. Because the carrier switch, you know, it is very effective, but on Neo Jade it's so open in the middle. You know, carriers I don't think are necessarily the best choice. And if he's already invested in all these gateways, the carrier switch does take a long time. I guess he just wants to end the game with these gateway units, and that's perfectly fine as well. You can see he is breaking through here at the natural. Is Cryoc just going to lift everything off and go to the bottom left? Because he can't hold his main anymore. Oh my god. Are we going to see a factory exodus? It's the factory exodus! Everything's lifting! And by everything, I mean 2 factories. Another. Oh, hey! Here we go. Here we go. That's what Terran is all about, ladies and gentlemen. This is, in fact, the Terran way. Hey! Migration. Alright, that's what's up. Oh, Matter Nexus, baby. Get out my game. I don't know why there's a pylon there. Is he gonna mine the gas? That'd be awesome. Just build a cannon there and mine the gas. Oh, lordy. Okay, so good old Terran tactics here. EndingLife is like, what are you doing, man? Oh god. Oh man, Cryoc, are you Forella? Cryoc is in fact Forella. The problem is, even if he saves the infrastructure, he's gonna have no supply to build stuff. He's gonna lose all his depots. That's the biggest problem with this tactic. I don't even know if it's legitimate enough to be called a tactic, or like whoa, he's actually spread out his tanks quite nicely here. That's pretty cool. All right, he's gonna kill some dudes. He's gonna stay alive a little bit longer. All right, good times. Good times. Look, he's actually just changed his entire base from top left to bottom left. He's taking this main now. If he actually just holds on for, you know, another half an hour, he could actually win this game, because if they actually split the map completely evenly, then Terran will win, because it's way more cost efficient. But it looks like EndingLife is actually going to mine out the rest of the the Terran's third base here. And also Terran's not being particularly cost efficient either. Man, look at this, Cryoc down at 86 supply against 200 supply. EndingLife can lose all his depots now. EndingLife's not really sure what to do anymore. He should just recall this again. There's no recall defense. In fact, there's no anti-air. He could actually go carriers now, to be honest. He killed the armories, and there's essentially no anti-air. He could actually just go scouts. Is he gonna make scouts? I think he should actually make scouts. He should get a +1 air attack and make scouts. It's legit, man. He can even snipe the science vessels. It'd be awesome. The only problem is, of course, that he's max, so I guess you'd have to like suicide some units first. But other than that, it's a good plan. It's legit. So look at this, Cryoc is actually stubbornly clinging on. I mean, I guess it is a best of 1 for his qualifier life here, so he's taking it pretty seriously. I'm not actually remember how well he did in yesterday's qualifier. Okay, it looks like yesterday he actually made it all the way to the round of 8. So he did get pretty far here, got a few points, so I guess he really wants them qualifier points. Well, Protoss is mining happily from his third. Die hard indeed. Cryoc is in fact German Bruce Willis. Which reminds me, I haven't actually seen the latest Die Hard movie. Oh, got them both. Snap. And ending life's like, wait a minute, I can just kill everything with the Arbiters. Yeah. That was a pretty go-to EMP, actually. Is he just gonna suicide? Oh, here we go. Here we go. He's going up the narrow ramp. He's going up. He's a really good position for Terran, though. Although, oh, there's another good EMP. There's the same Arbiter, I think. Or maybe not. I don't know. He might kill the command center. Oh, he's gonna target the command center, and boom, the command center goes down. Pretty sick. But the Protoss is gonna lose his entire army. That's okay. He's got 8,000 minerals. He's got 8,000 minerals. Cryoc actually took the main. He's not mining it though. Oh, he's making an armory finally. That's good times. That's good times. Oh, let's just keep EMPing the same Arbiter. I think this guy's got EMP'd like 3 times in a minute. Yoink. So... Oh, EndingLife is now offering his opponent the chance to choose his fate, how he will meet his demise. This is actually pretty good. This is, you know, he's allowing his opponent to choose the honorable way to go. Did that guy just try an EMP and get stasis? Did you guys see that? It was like blinking. I didn't see the EMP bullet go out though. That was interesting. Oh god! Oh! That could have been good. I have a feeling that when this guy comes out of stasis, it's gonna EMP like empty space. It's gonna be awesome. Or maybe he just got cancelled entirely, I'm not sure. I'm gonna just watch this guy for a sec. There's actually not that much interesting otherwise on the map. Someone in the chat, by the way, says that Bruce Willis was in fact born in Germany, which I had no idea, but that's awesome. Maybe Bruce Willis is actually Cryoc. How cool would that be? Could you imagine if he just had like a secret double life as a Brood War player? Oh man, I missed it! Shit! I wasn't watching when he came out of stasis. Oh well. Alright, here we go. Storm? Yeah, good times. Oh, this could be it. This could be it. There's not that many units left. Cryoc's down to 42 supply. You can leave now. You can indeed. Or not. Or you can not leave. That's also an option. I guess you can not leave. Oh no, GG! Oh man, Cryoc, bro, that was a little bit. Ooh, okay, that's cool. Oh, Cryoc. Mass Factory Float. Are you for Rella? Are you for Rella? Alright. Let's go to a break. And then, and then come back for some hopefully not as silly games. I'll see you guys in a bit.